33.
All right, we're good. We're live.
Has the cost of the project, has that remained 17.2 million?
We'll probably be slightly above that. We haven't announced that figure as yet. We continue to run into some construction issues, as you always do doing historic renovations. They're never the easiest projects to do. So some issues continue to come up, and we continue to address them as they arise.
So where are we at right now?
We're right now on the 7th floor of the Prince Charles Hotel building. Again, the building is 8 stories. The 7th story, this is where the highest end apartments will be. The units up here are the highest apartments. They'll have 10-foot ceilings, the best views into the baseball stadium in downtown Fayetteville. And so we'll have about 10 apartments per floor as we work our way down. Okay,
and this is, so, because we just looked at the floor plan this morning, this would be like those Winslow apartments?
I think so. To my right is where I believe the Haymount apartment is, so that has the best views up Haymount Hill. And I believe maybe Winslow's on my left.
Okay.
Well, those unit names are basically just historic street names here in Fayetteville. So again, we wanted to pay tribute to the history here in Fayetteville and leverage some of the great history here in Fayetteville.
Awesome.
You mentioned about it, the cost is going to be a little bit more. Any of the unexpected problems that you're able to talk about at this point that maybe y'all came across?
Well, I will point. Y'all want to walk around a little bit? Let me point out one for you real quick.
Whoa.
Sorry for the small window opening here, but a great example is down below. We're in the process of replacing the roof down there. As you can see, all the decking down there, all that reddish color, that's all rust and holes in it. It's supposed to be a strong steel type of a color, type of a metal type of a material down there. As you can see, it's all rotted and it's all torn up. So we'll spend about $100,000 repairing that section of the roof. Again, that's just one issue we had no idea about. You don't learn about something like that until you start actually demolishing the existing roof and looking to install a new roof.
Is that something, Jordan, that came since March, since the last time I talked to you?
That came up about 2 weeks ago. So again, as we go, we continue to identify new issues and we continue to address them as we go. You know, we went into the project with a large contingency, expecting to run into things, and we're glad we put that contingency in place.
Have any of the plans changed since early March when we talked?
We decreased the unit count from 61 units to about 59 units, and I'll walk through that. We're going to do a new construction infill, and we can walk around and show that to you. Just the complexity of creating a new structure in the middle of the building just became too challenging and expensive, and so we shifted that out of the scope and instead installed 2 new apartments down on the 2nd floor.
Bear with me here.
So this will be a view of...
You'll be a great view of downtown Fayetteville from here and a little bit inside the stadium on the left. When we walk around, you'll see where some of the new windows have gone in and really get a sense of the views from the building.
In March, you told me that there was a total cost of $400,000, I guess, that you didn't know was here until you took down the walls.
I think that was the fireproofing.
I was just going to, has the total increased there?
No, that's come down a little bit. It's about $390,000 when we got the firm pricing in place. So again, fireproofing, we had to fireproof all the existing steel throughout the entire building. We thought there was some existing fireproofing in place, and that fireproofing, A, was not as much as we anticipated, and B, was not up to code. So we had to go through, you'll see behind me, let me walk over here, we had to go through and spray all of the exposed steel. So right in front of us here, this is one of our steel beams that goes all the way up and down the building, and you can see all of this spray foam was added to it. Again, it's a fire retardant. That way, worst case scenario, there ever is a fire in here, we do have a sprinkler system, but this just ensures the integrity of the steel for everyone's safety inside.
Are y'all still looking at completion in the December time frame?
That's been postponed a little bit due to all the hurricanes that came through.
Right.
We should have people moving in March.
So are there some apartments buildings where people will be able to look out their window and actually watch a baseball game?
Absolutely, and see the fireworks, be able to see the scoreboard, and I think one unit you can actually should be able to come close to seeing home plate.
Wow. And like all the apartments are just for rent?
All are for rent, just 59. We're pre-leasing the units now. We've already pre-leased about 6 or 7 units, and they continue to move very quickly.
You've already done what again? I'm sorry.
Pre-leased about 7 units. We anticipate about half the units should be fully pre-leased before the end of this year, and all of them should probably be leased out before March.
And none of them are for sale. It's
None
strictly
of them are for sale.
rentals.
They're all for rent. One bedrooms start at about $1,000 per month. We have a few around $800-900 a month, and the two bedrooms start at about $1,500 per month. Prices increase as you go up. You get better views, taller ceiling heights, and better finishes.
Okay.
What has been the biggest challenge of the project to this point?
Biggest challenge to the project, I think, is really just the unknowns we face going into this type of a project, and really managing the budget has been a key piece. Again, this fireproofing is a great example. The floors we're standing on before we started the project, we learned we had to spend about $450,000 to fix all the floors. And so again, I think it's just going back to the design and construction. You know, again, we anticipated some of these challenges going into it. We knew we were going to be facing additional challenges, and so we put some good processes in place and put a good team together in place to help us address all of them.
Are you able to describe where you are at this point, you know, in terms of just the overall, the work on the building? Where are you now?
Yeah, so we have, I guess, less than 5 months left, about 4 months left. So I'd probably say we're about 50 to 60% completed of construction of the project.
50 to 60%?
Correct. You'll see we've done a lot of some of the more time-consuming work. All the demolition's been done. And you start to see we've done some core drilling. So as you see through here, all of our apartments are stacked. So the same apartments on the 7th floor, they're all arranged the same way as 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, etc. So that way when we need to run a plumbing line, we just do a core drill to go all the way down. So a lot of the more manual, intensive scope has been completed, installing all the metal stud walls, drilling holes through the concrete, doing a lot of structural repairs, all the environmental abatement, etc.
Are you guys on time then?
We're hoping to deliver units probably around February, but then with Florence came, that really slowed us down about 4 weeks or so. Our crews had to demobilize and leave. They had to put in all the plywood in the windows, and so we lost about 4 weeks on the schedule as a result of that. But my whole goal is to be able to open up before the baseball stadium does. This has been kind of the leading project, and I think we will definitely be able to achieve that.
When is the stadium supposed to open?
Late March, early April.
That's right.
Something else to talk about is the website we released. So the brand we've identified for this project is called The Gathering. The Gathering at the Prince Charles. The reason why The Gathering is, again, we want this place to be kind of the new focal point, the new gathering place, not only in downtown Fayetteville, but all of Fayetteville. You know, to get people to downtown Fayetteville, which is critical, a key goal of us, is how do we start competing better with kind of Cross Creek Mall area. We have all that existing retail and commercial space where some people go in the evenings on the weekends. We want to be able to shift a lot of that traffic, shift a lot of those people here to downtown Fayetteville, shop at a lot of local businesses, spend the local dollars, have a larger economic development impact. So the Gathering is really kind of a way for us to brand this, again, as the new focal place, a new place where people would want to come, live, work, eat, and play. And so we'll have the residences at the Prince Charles, but for us it's all about the Gathering. So again, how does this place become the new gathering place for Fayetteville?
Will you have a bar in it?
We'll have 2 restaurants on the first floor.
Mm-hmm.
We'll also have a coffee shop on the first floor. And we have a 4th retail bay we're still in the process of programming.
Let's
and then in the parking garage across the street, we'll have at least 1 restaurant and maybe a bar over there as well. So we want this to be a place not only people come to live, not only come to go a baseball game, but where they spend more of their time outside of their office hours, outside of their home. You know, when we talk about these apartments, people ask us, you know, what's a selling piece within the apartments? For us, we're not selling apartments. We're not selling granite countertops, LVT floors, you know, high-end appliances. What we're selling is an experience and being part of downtown, being part of everything we're doing. For me, it's all about curating the right experience. Again, keeping people coming back to downtown Fayetteville and being part of downtown Fayetteville, being part of this community.
So we just got a question on Facebook Live. Is this a monthly lease, a 6-month lease, a yearly lease? Most
of the apartments will have a 12-month lease. We will have some corporate apartments in here, probably about 6 to 7 apartments that people could rent for, you know, a month to 2 or 3 months. We're thinking like traveling nurses could be a great idea, or military contractors when they bring in people, they could have a short-term apartment in here. Something I've also thought about is, you know, does my team and I, do we keep 1 or 2 apartments? We do Airbnb for the first year. Again, just give the public residents here the experience if they don't want to move in. Maybe they have the opportunity to stay here for a night or two. Really kind of be part of everything we're developing here in downtown Fayetteville.
All right. You want to take us on a tour?
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Again, this is a one-bedroom unit. We are walking to the corridor. I think we have 9 apartments per floor, mix of 1 and 2 bedroom units. Again, there are about 59 apartments. I believe about 39 of them are 1 bedrooms, and about 20 of them are 2 bedrooms.
Repeat that again. You got
59 apartments. I believe 39 or 40 1 bedrooms, and about 19 or so 2 bedroom units.
Okay. And we did see that on the floor plan, the biggest it gets is 900 square feet, right?
Yeah, about 960, I believe, square feet. Again, these are your more urban apartments that are typically a smaller floor plate. And most people are happy with that, and the reason why is they don't spend that much time in their apartment. They'd rather be downstairs at one of our bars, at our restaurants, going to a Houston Astros game. What else is something great we're doing for the people that decide to live here is we, I think, made a 3-year commitment to the Houston Astros to buy tickets. They'll have a 4 top tables, kind of a little VIP experience. We have a waiter bring you food and drinks, etc., inside the stadium. So each apartment renter here will have 1 free game they can go to per year to enjoy that great experience at the stadium.
So it comes with a VIP package then?
That is correct.
All right.
So let me walk you through a great little great 2-bedroom unit we have right here.
All right.
So again, this would be the front door. You'd walk in. On my right would be an open kitchen concept area, and towards my left here, this is where kind of the living room would be, and just all these incredible windows. Right here, we're at the kind of the corner of the Prince Charles, right here along Hay Street and across the street from City Hall, and it's just a spectacular view throughout downtown. Kind of the great environment we have here in Fayetteville that's been developed over the years.
So that's City Hall, and
that's
then...
the police station, City Hall.
Right, the police station and
that's City Hall right there. And this will be a 2-bedroom unit with 2 bathrooms.
So then this is the...
That's one of the bedrooms.
Bedroom.
Are you going to live here?
My family and I are currently in Durham.
Ah, so you commute.
That is correct. I'm down here. I was down here about 2 to 3 times per week. But right now we have a newborn at the house, and so I've cut down my trips about once a week right now.
Congratulations.
So again, we have 2 bathrooms there and 2 bedrooms, and just incredible windows and views of downtown. 10-foot ceilings on the 7th floor.
So this is a separate room here.
That is correct. Yeah, that would be a separate apartment on the other side.
Wow, you can like see right up there.
Yeah. If we want to go back on out, I'll show you all my favorite 2-bedroom apartment.
Okay.
This apartment, I believe, has 10 or 12 windows that look directly into the stadium.
Do you feel like the prices are reasonably priced?
I do.
And priced at a point where you are going to get people interested in staying here?
Absolutely, without a doubt. The interest has been tremendous. Yet if you think about our pricing, it's not, some of the units are in line with where other apartments are here already in the marketplace. What's different for us is we have smaller units. And so, a typical 1-bedroom apartment at, for example, Addison Ridge here in Fayetteville, which is a great property here in Fayetteville, their 1-bedrooms are anywhere from $900 to $1,100, $1,200 per month. That's a larger unit that might have 1,000 square feet, where we might have 600 to 700 square feet. But a little bit different here. Addison Ridge, again, a great apartment, an incredible fitness room and amenity space, but it's not located in the heart of downtown Fayetteville, next to where the new baseball stadium is currently being constructed.
That was like one of the key interests that people had when we first put, the plans up and everything.
Yeah.
They were like, what are these prices?
They're all on the website, liveattheprincecharles.com.
Right.
It's a website where people can start pre-leasing apartments.
So another big question is the parking situation. Yeah. Does each resident get their own parking spot?
They do. We're building a massive parking garage next door. My team and I we are designing and building that parking garage. The parking garage will be owned by the city of Fayetteville, but 1 parking space for each apartment user will be included in the parking garage. If 2nd or 3rd spaces are needed as well, we can accommodate them in the parking garage. The parking garage will have about 480 parking spaces, so more than enough to park the residents.
And the parking comes with the apartment.
That is correct.
Okay. So it's not like an add-on
No.
to. Okay.
Correct. This is a 2-bedroom unit.
The parking comes with the
That
one.
is correct. Yep.
Okay, sorry about that.
So we'll have the kitchen and living room here, and then if you just want to look on out and see the view from the living room into the baseball stadium.
Oh. Whoops.
Let me move this spinning box.
Yeah. Can't really get to it. So you can see right in.
You can see right into the stadium.
That's really cool.
You'll be able to see the scoreboard, almost home plate, fireworks. You can see the pitcher making his pitches. Whatever Melissa would like to see, she can see from her apartment.
So why would you even want to buy a ticket?
Still be part of it. I mean, you're not. I mean, you talked to Mark Zarthar and the incredible experience they're developing inside the stadium. The home plate bar, the third base bar, the kids zone. That'll be an incredible stadium.
Are
I have
you?
to ask the negative question. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask because we're getting more questions about parking. Will the parking deck also be done in time with everything
Parking
else?
garage will be completed in March of 2019 in line with this apartment.
All right.
So the parking space will be available when people move on it.
All right. Parking's a big issue here.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Parking is going to be a big change. You know, people are concerned about lack of parking. City of Fayetteville did a tremendous parking study, and they showed there's plenty of parking here. I think a lot of things people have to get used to is actually walking. You know, you'll build a park right outside your restaurant, park right outside the baseball stadium. You will be walking. So people have concerns about, ADA parking. I'm a little bit older. What do we do? There'll be a handicap drop-off point in front of the baseball stadium for those individuals. There are parking spaces, parking lots throughout downtown. It could be a long walk. I agree, but I think that's the opportunity for the private sector to step in. Lion Bike Share. Lion has a bike share program at Fayetteville State University. Those green bikes. They can scatter those here through downtown Fayetteville as well. There's also something called Bird, which is an electric scooter in downtown Raleigh, Charlotte, Greensboro, etc. Those could be placed throughout downtown Fayetteville. People just jump on a scooter and ride on down to the stadium. Downtown Durham has pedicaps. A bicyclist, and 2 or 3 seats behind them. A family can just get on and take a ride down to the stadium as well. When I introduced this product and this whole vision here, the last thing I want to do is build all the parking next to the baseball stadium. I didn't want people to be able to drive to the game, get out of the car, go into the stadium, and when they're done, get back in the car and leave. There's so much going on in downtown Fayetteville. It's tremendous retail establishments, restaurants, bars, etc., where I want people to encourage people to park throughout downtown, be able to walk throughout and see the great local entrepreneurs that are doing great business here in downtown. Let's walk over here and be able to see the views from this bedroom into the baseball stadium as well.
Oh, wow.
So this will be one of the bedrooms. Pretty incredible, right?
It is.
So the price points we're talking about are a little bit more premium in the marketplace, but you get this. This isn't available anywhere else in Fayetteville. The price points we're talking about are lower still than what apartments are getting in Raleigh and Durham, those downtown units. So it's definitely very affordable. We do have some apartments. I think I shared around $800 to $900 per month. So there's a diversity of price points within this building.
You keep mentioning Raleigh and Durham, but I will tell you that our audience will say, well, this isn't Raleigh or Durham, this is Fayetteville. And downtown Fayetteville has always had that small town feel to it. So that's why most people are worried about all of this happening.
I get it. I think, though, I was born and raised here. This is where I grew up as well. I grew up about 3.5 miles down the street off Morganton Road near Fayetteville Academy. I would get up in high school and run down here, run to the Market House and back home. So, I'm very familiar with kind of the history of what's been happening here in downtown. For me, what I've been seeing is nothing but excitement about what's happening in downtown. People want to see what's happening in Raleigh and Durham. People forget that Fayetteville is the 6th largest city in North Carolina, but there's also a massive drop-off from Charlotte, Winston-Salem, Greensboro, Durham, and Raleigh to get to Fayetteville. There's a massive drop-off in kind of people's perceptions of the community. When we started this project, I called every lender I knew in my Rolodex, and no one had interest in a project like this. No one had interest in investing here in this community. What this project has done to that, opening up, changing people's perceptions and attitudes of Fayetteville has been tremendous. The new hotel and office building we're building across the street. We're talking to institutional investors who want to cut a check for $40, $50 million into what we're doing here in downtown Fayetteville. Something like that has never really been a potential and opportunity here in Fayetteville. I think these apartments are more premium. The office space we're generating is more premium. The businesses we're talking to, the CEOs we're talking to, They're looking for this type of environment, looking for these workspaces, looking for these apartments. They want to be able to bring that talent here to downtown Fayetteville, be able to recruit people from the Triangle, the Triad, from Charlotte. Something like this will help them do that. This is all about economic development, improving the quality of life here in Fayetteville, and really bringing talent here. It's all about talent and quality of life.
How did the group make the decision, Jordan, where you're talking about a lot of money invested in all this? How do you make the decision to just go ahead with that, whereas there are people out there who would love to see you fail? I don't know. Does that question make any sense?
No, yeah, I mean, we had a lot of...
maybe even better than that, but there's people out there who would love to just, this building should be raised, rather.
That's a question we faced most of the time when we got this product started. We actually bought this building in January 2015. And it'll be more than 4 years to take us to actually deliver the apartments. That's a long time. I think some of the critical pieces were my team and I. I'm one of 4 partners who's been behind this the whole time. We recognize that the value of this product would generate for this community. It's something we didn't want to give up on. When you do these urban infill products, they're challenging. Yes, it's easy to go out to somewhere in Fayetteville and buy 10 acres of dirt and to build stick-up construction, do 3-4 story apartments.
Right.
But what you actually start to do in downtown Fayetteville, what we're looking to do here is taking that risk. We think it's worth the community. This community needs to see these types of developments starting to happen. This is truly a demonstration project about how Fayetteville should be growing. It should be growing more vertical. It should be growing infill. It's not only better. It's a lower cost, for example, for the city and the county. You don't have to build new roads. You don't have to build new sewer systems. You don't have to build new fire stations and police stations. If you start building from your core out, it's a much more efficient way to do it. Not only for the city and the county, but also kind of environmentally. We're able to have people be able to live one place and be able to walk, be able to cut down on car trips. For me, again, I was born and raised here. When I lived elsewhere and I told people where I was from, they said, "Oh, Vietnam, that's the reputation. Oh, Hay Street, that's where all the bars are and the strip clubs." For me, it's all about how do we start changing that reputation here in Fayetteville, being a place where people actually want to live, work, and play. When I talk to a lot of my colleagues and their parents who still live here, they talk about, wow, they wish they had the opportunity for the kids to return from college. There's that brain drain Fayetteville. Students that leave Fayetteville go off to school, and they might not think about coming back to Fayetteville because it doesn't have this quality of life, this nighttime environment that we are generating. This is all about that as well. For us, it's always been a long-term play. We have very patient capital, very patient investors that are willing to make this risk and to make this bet alongside with us.
All right, let's keep
Y'all
going.
want to go on up? Let's go on up to the
Yeah,
roof.
that'd be awesome. We're just walking through walls here.
Better do it now before we lose that opportunity in a couple of weeks.
It is really cool to see. I mean, last time I came in here, this building was kind of haunting looking,
Yeah, when we first bought the building, I'd walk through and do security checks myself. By myself, all the windows were boarded up, all the walls were still in. It was very haunted. I never ran into anything, but it was definitely a little scary, so it's much better today. So what we're doing right now is we're going to go on the roof of the Prince Charles to be able to see great sight, not only of the baseball stadium, but of the parking garage of the building next door.
All right. It's quite a walk.